Hi there, my name is David and welcome to BricksBlocks&MOCs. So I thought I would try to make today's video a bit shorter, because this will not be one of my how I recreated videos, because I've already built the model. And I also already featured it on my Instagram account. So if you are following me on Instagram, you have already seen this car. So I thought I would just talk a little bit about it, and I might throw in some more technical Lego things like how I recreated it. But yeah, I just think I'm gonna keep this video a bit like my older videos, where I just created a car and did talk a little bit about it. So a shorter video, hopefully. Today's model is the Lamborghini Huracán, or however you pronounce it, I will say Huracán. One reason I didn't film the design process of this was actually because it was not at all planned for me to make this actually. But yeah, here it is anyway. When I started to design this, I got a bit carried away actually, because I just thought this will look so good when it's done. It's gonna be probably my best model so far and all that. But then, as often happens when I create models, I started to doubt it a bit and just became a bit skeptical about the design and so on. And I know that might sound crazy to some of you, because I got a lot of positive feedback on this over at my Instagram, which I appreciate so much. But yeah, as I said, it often happens, mostly when I'm done creating models, that I'm a bit skeptical about the finished product, if you will. But yeah, it was a bit different this time, because I was so excited for it in the beginning, and then it was just nah. And the biggest reason why I started to doubt it a bit was actually because of the front, because in some certain angles it looks a bit too flat in my opinion. I think this part where front is 4 studs wide, I think it would have looked a lot better if that part would have been 3 studs instead of 4 studs. But yeah, that was a bit hard to achieve for a lot of reasons. I think you can understand some certain fact that it is 8 stud wide and not 7 stud wide or whatever. So yeah, that was probably the biggest thing why I was, or actually still am a bit skeptical about the finished design. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk a bit about the design of this model, because in the end I am very happy with this. Especially the rear. I love the headlights and I love how clean and simple it looks. It just works, the rear. And the thing that I love with the rear lights is that I was able to use transparent pieces, because I've seen a lot of people use like 2 pieces and stuff like that for the Huracán headlights, and those pieces work perfect to create the headlight shape for the Huracán, and then they use those pieces in normal red. But I really wanted to incorporate transparent red pieces for the rear lights. So yeah, this is what I came up with, and it worked very well in my opinion. This is maybe one of the more interesting design aspects, or technical design aspects of this. Another thing that I really like that I was able to achieve or incorporate are the openable doors. And I think openable doors just adds a lot to Lego models. But the thing with the Huracán doors, or rather the sides of the Huracán doors, they are a bit angled upward, so that was a bit hard to achieve and still have, yeah, the doors open like this. What I did was that I used my normal hinged at 2 points technique, and then used the 1x1 brick with a stud on side to attach the 1x1 hinge piece to it, and to be able to angle the doors slightly. And I think it looks so good. But also design. I like the side look of this car, but I'm a bit skeptical again with the front part, because I just think this part here with this piece, it looks a bit weird. I would have liked the headlight to be a bit more visible from the side view here. But yeah, this is what I went with this time, and yeah, it worked. I'm nitpicking here. The headlights are quite interesting as well. They share a lot of building techniques with my Lamborghini Aventador. I usually categorize how you can create headlights, or rear lights for that matter as well, in 3 different categories. The first thing you can do, or the first category, is to use just normal bricks to create the shape of the headlight in some way or the other. The second category, how you can recreate headlights in Lego, is to use stickers, and that's not really my cup of tea, and I know a lot of you aren't probably that big of a fan of stickers as well. And then the third category, which I've used for this model, which is more to create the shape of the headlights by creating some sort of frame, if you know what I mean. And that's what I went with this time, and I actually do it for a lot of my car models. But yeah, it works very well, especially for modern Lamborghini models. So I was also able to make a pretty good interior in my opinion, and it actually fits. It fits 2 minifigs inside, which is really cool in my opinion. It fits 2 minifigs pretty easily inside actually. Anyway, let's throw them out. So as you probably have noticed, and it's in the title as well, but yeah, I decided to make the Huracán Performante, which is the more high performance track version of the Huracán. The biggest aesthetical thing that sets the Performante apart from the normal Huracán is the spoiler. I actually really like the spoiler on this car, because I think it adds a lot, especially to the Lego model in my opinion. And I also really like how I captured the top mounted wing, and I really wanted to have an engine bay as well, because hey, it's a Lamborghini. So I wasn't able to make an openable engine hatch for the engine bay, but you can remove it. It is actually, wait, like this. If you turn it upside down, this will actually fall out, this engine bay cover thing. It's not a super detailed engine like in my P1 for example. That's a very detailed engine for the size of the car model, but yeah, I think it looks very good. And of course you have the gold details here for the Huracán Performante. Other than that, I don't know if it's too much more to talk about. As those of you who follow me on Instagram might know, is that I have been thinking about maybe releasing a new set again, a more serious one. I think I said it on the YouTube channel as well sometime, but yeah, some with actual printed instructions instead of digital instructions, and yeah, just a bit more serious, if you will. I don't really like the word serious, but yeah, you get the idea. And my first idea for that set that I kinda had settled with actually was the Porsche 930 Turbo. I haven't made a video about it, but it is over at my Instagram. But yeah, I really wanted to make that set. I have been really into Porsche for the last year or something, and I was so happy with that model. You know, that model had an openable engine bay, openable doors, openable front, and it looked so accurate and good from all different angles. I was so happy with it, so I would really have liked to make that as a set. Then Lego announced that they are doing an official Lego Porsche 911 Classic set. So then that didn't really work out, because non-official Lego set cost a lot to make because of the parts. I said it time and time again, but take my Jesco set for example, that was $150, which I know is a lot for the size it is, but yeah, that's just what I'm working with, and all other non-official Lego companies, like BricksMania for example. So yeah, that just is the price tag I have to work around. But yeah, again, over to the Huracán. I have actually been thinking about making this a set. It has gotten a lot of positive feedback, which is so awesome, and the Huracán is also a really popular car. Take my Caterham set for example. That was, to be honest, a bit of a flop actually, because I just think Caterhams aren't really that popular. I'm a huge Caterham fan. Once I actually had the chance to ride along, do you say ride along? I think that. Ride along in a Caterham, and that was just an amazing experience. And I quite like the design as well actually. I like the more retro 50s design of the Caterhams. But yeah, anyway, it wasn't that big of a success. But the Jesco, however, was a success, and that model was almost like 3 times as expensive as the Caterhams. Okay, it was a bit bigger also, but yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, I feel like Koenigsegg and Lamborghini, they are very popular cars. Porsche are also very popular cars, and personally I would really have liked to make maybe a newer Porsche, the new 992 Turbo or something. But yeah, the Huracán is a very popular car, and I think it could work good as a set. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure. It is a lot, I mean a lot of time that I have to put in to make another set, especially if it's gonna be more serious and more like printed instructions and so on. And yeah, it just is a lot of time, and also money, to be honest. And I haven't decided if I'm gonna do like a pre-order thing. But yeah, the problem with pre-ordering is that it's a bit hard to show like the whole experience with the box and instructions and so on, because you have to kind of pay up front to get all that. So yeah, you get the idea. And again, I'm just wanna bring up the price of those non-official Lego sets, because as I said, BricksMania, a lot of you are probably familiar with that company. They're mostly making military models, and they are quite pricey. And I've seen some of their videos recently on YouTube and gone through the comment section a bit, and it is quite a lot of people that are a bit upset by the price, and I understand it. It has been a few that have been a bit upset over the price of my sets as well, which is totally understandable, because it is a lot of money. I really mean that it is a lot of money. I just think it's so important to make people aware of how expensive it is to make a non-official Lego set, because it isn't just the cost of the parts, which is a lot, but you also have to take into consideration that just sorting the parts out multiple times takes a lot of time, and of course time is money, and it takes a lot of time. I really mean it. It doesn't matter if you order from Bricklink or Lego's official bricks and pieces or whatever it's called. Someone needs to sort those pieces out, and of course if you order from Bricklink, you have to sort them out from sets they are buying, because pieces you order from Bricklink have been in some set. Many people just buy a new set and immediately sort them out and sell them on Bricklink, the pieces. So yeah, of course pieces are going to be very, very expensive, but yeah, then when you order the parts for a set, you also have to take into consideration that Brickmania or any other that are creating non-official Lego sets, they have to sort the pieces for each and every set, and that also takes a lot of time. But yeah, of course Lego also have to sort their pieces out for the sets, but yeah, they have just such a big budget to work with. I know Lego are incorporating a lot of robots in their Lego production system. Anyway, of course, when you have a big budget and a mass production, all those expenses are so much easier to push down than when you're making just a low batch, low production set. But yeah, as you know, some companies don't use official Lego pieces like Kobe or Creo. They are of course molding their own parts, which costs so much. Then we are just in a whole other dimension when it comes to making molds. So many molds also. There also are a limited amount of Lego pieces, of course. They are only releasing that many sets of each set, and if it is a very rare piece that comes in only one set or two that they only have available for like 3 years, so of course that piece is gonna be very expensive, and so many of that piece won't exist as well, of course. So yeah, you are kind of limited to how many sets you actually can make. You can't really go into a mass production if you don't make your own pieces in some way, of course. That's just the fact of it. And I realize now that this video probably will be quite long anyway. My goal was to only talk about the Huracán, but yeah, I kind of got a bit carried away with the sets. But yeah, that's just kind of what I had to say on that subject. And also one thing I forgot to mention about the Huracán. I used my custom rims for this, my more Lamborghini design custom rims, and I think it looks so good, to be honest. It works so well on this. And that, I really want to mention that as well, because you know I did try to release a pack of 5 sets of rims, different custom rims for Lego, and that didn't really become a success. But yeah, if I'm starting to make more sets and so on, I would really like to have some custom rims, and I might have some ideas how I can make that possible, because it just looks so much better than a lot of the Speed Champion rims. They just look too small and so on. Yeah, I would really like to include some custom rims for hopefully my future set. I really hope you liked today's video, even if I went a bit off subject, but yeah, that is what it is. I really like and want to start to keep the videos pretty open, because I just feel like that makes the videos a bit more genuine and fun to make for me. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that's all it for today. Bye for now.